media. We're going to get you out of here well before the top of the hour. I'm going to give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. This is our live free sports fix with the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and at Sports Chat Place. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at who's on the show with us for today. All right, with us is Brad Francis with us. James Clark will be signing momentarily. Rod Zawacky, David Racey, and it's Brian Bitler. And here's how they'll line up for this evening. We got Bitler, Racey, Francis, Clark, Zawacky, and then I will close this one out. All right. Baseball on the board today. 10 games on the board as we have that day game here. It's the Royals rally to win that one in the morning period. Of course, we got 2 from the NFL and a doubleheader, Monday Night Football. But let's get this one underway. Let's go ahead and welcome in Brian Bitler. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Brian's doing great work up there as you take a look at his records. We'll get him ready to go here with Brian. Brian, what's happening?
Oh, great to be with you here on a Monday. I'm losing my voice for some reason. Saturday 3-2, Sunday 3-2, but I'm ready to start a new week off, and already a team that I like, the Kansas City Royals. You know how I like the bad teams. They were able to sneak out a victory, and we'll see how it goes down the stretch for them. But definitely some nice action on the board with 2 NFL games tonight.
Yeah, 2 NFL games closing out baseball here. We do have some, we have division winners and we have wild card contenders. There is a difference. I think you got to put these type of contenders in subsets. You can't group them all together. There's a big difference between wild card contenders and division winners, and I think you can find line value going against some of those wild card contenders. But anyway, here we go tonight. Braves and the Phillies. Braves clinch, and they're still on their honeymoon from clinching. And it looks like we'll see how it rolls here. Braves minus 105, total 9.5.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, tonight I'm going to ride with my hometown Philadelphia Phillies here on the money line for Monday Night Baseball action. This Phillies team comes in about 3.5 games up for the number 1 wild card spot. Atlanta well out in front of the National League. Really not too much to play for them. Phillies send Zach Wheeler to the mound, and he got hit around in his last start. But 2 starts from Zach Wheeler this late in the season is not a common occurrence. Braves come in here losers of 3 straight games, and they're going to send Kyle Wright to the mound. He came back. First start back was 9-11, and he only lasted 3 innings. He gave up 6 runs to this exact same Phillies lineup. Zach Wheeler, that 1.07 whip and a really nice strikeout to walk, 196-35. If the Phillies bullpen can get some outs late in this game, I think we should have a nice, easy winner here. Braves have won 6 of the last 7 versus the Phillies here, and I think that should attract a lot of bettors to the Braves plus their record. But I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Phillies here on the money line to get the job done.
All right, we got Brian says go ahead and take the Phillies here, minus 105 here against the Braves. Here in this one, yeah, it's been, that we saw what the Marlins did to the Braves. It was a lot of runs, right? 36 runs over that, I believe it was, over that 3-day weekend. It was incredible, but really it was the Braves bullpen that has been gone south here. So now we got to see how Atlanta kind of rights the ship here, because remember, we're about right now, they're a division winner. So 2 weeks from today, or 2 weeks from tomorrow, will be the wild card games, right? Because the Monday, 2 weeks from now, would be any playoff, what you call the sudden. Now, what do they call this when the teams are tied? The 2 weeks from today would be sudden death. Yeah, there's I forgot the term when it is, right? Whenever tiebreaker. So 2 weeks from today would be the tiebreaker games. If they have to tie break, would be 2 weeks from today. And then you have the wild card games, and then we're probably looking at Thursday or Friday for the Braves here to play. So they don't really play any meaningful baseball games now for about another 2.5 weeks. Obviously, I don't know if the Dodgers are going to catch them. Although the Dodgers seem to, I thought when the Dodgers clinched, we'd see a little bit of regression from them, but they just kept playing.
Yeah, the Dodgers have been playing, and I think the Braves are 5 games up on the Dodgers, I believe, for the National.
And they have the tiebreaker, too. They have the tiebreaker because they pounded them in L.A.
And the Braves are going to try to right the ship with Kyle Wright, but maybe looking for some, innings here with Kyle Wright. But I think this Phillies lineup, they were able to hit him last week. I think they should be able to hit him again. And the Phillies can't take their foot off the pedal. Only 3.5 games up. They could be out of it if they get swept by the Braves and the other teams winning out. So you can't let up now.
And it's to see how the Braves play it, right? Is there motivation to knock the Phillies out of the playoffs?
That's true.
That's a lot. There's a lot going into these, and you got to really try and figure out what the motivation is. But one thing I'll tell you right now, it's this Braves bullpen over their past 10 games, an ERA of 8.5.
Yeah, it's not going to get the job done, but I don't think the Phillies bullpen is performing well lately as well. So I think I need Wheeler to go 7 or 8 innings tonight for the Phillies here because I just don't trust Anthony Dominguez and Sir Anthony and some of the Phillies bullpen guys.
Yeah, so Phillies bullpen guys, you don't really trust. Brian, anything you take over last weekend's games from college football? Didn't get your attention?
Boy, I was really hoping that Colorado would beat Colorado State more handily because I really want to go big in on Oregon this week. I think Oregon's going to really shellac. And also the Florida State-Clemson game really has my attention for next week. But other than that, I think it was pretty much business as usual in college football and NFL Sunday yesterday. A little bit public heavy, but that happens early in the season.
Yeah, the public heavy, no doubt about that. Some of these wild comebacks there in the second half was some crazy.
Oh, I love the wild comeback, unless I'm on the other end of them.
There was some wild games. The Commander game, we saw that. The Giants with that crazy comeback, and of course the Rams getting in through the back door. There's some funny stuff.
I was taking myself on the Atlanta Falcons because instead of taking the -125, I laid the -1.5. That came up to bite me.
That was a big line mover.
We'll see. I live and learn.
The Packers were a point favorite.
Don't like to lay extra juice.
Yeah, they were a point favorite there at some point. So we saw a line move there during the drive-through with the running back situation there. We'll see how that plays out. And of course, we got two big ones tonight, so we'll get all excited for those games. For the record here, we got Brian here on the Phillies, laying the -105 against the Braves. This would have a start time here of 7:20 Eastern time. All right, Brian, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Of course, we see Brian doing great work here in Major League Baseball. If you visit his handicapper page, you'll see a lot of great results there from Brian. Tonight, we've got, still 10 games on the board for Major League Baseball, 2 from the NFL. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Well, ball for 3 and 2 Saturdays and Sundays. I still haven't started off the NFL season like I wanted to, but my best bet tonight is in the NFL. Head on over to pickdogs.com, get my titanium plate. Just $15 gets you that best bet winner. Also have a play up for Major League Baseball I really like, and my WNBA playoff game is up for tomorrow already at pickdogs.com. So now's a good time to get a 3-day pass or team me up with one of the all-star handicappers at pickdogs.com.
That's right, guys. Got to work with Brian Bitler over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the great results here from Brian in Major League Baseball, 518 units of profit. It's all documented. All these records are. So if you visit Brian's handicapper page, go down to pick history, you'll see that also showing positive results this year here in college football. So good start to college football from Brian. So good time to get on board with Brian's place tonight. But again, here we are on Monday. Perfect time for that 7-day all sports pass. All of Brian's premium plays for 7 days. All the baseball here. We still have another 2 weeks of regular season play before we hit the postseason. And we also have a lot of NFL, college football is covered in that 7 days. WNBA playoffs, because Brian is definitely active in the WNBA. So get on board with Brian Bitler and use that promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. All right, Brian, it's always great having you on the show. He's that success. We'll catch up with you on the Friday. Of course, there are folks out there following this WNBA, and of course, everybody expects to see Aces and the Liberty. Some people are split between Aces and Liberty. How do you see this? I think this is pretty much everyone expects these teams to meet for the title.
Yeah, in other sports, NFL or men's basketball in the NBA, I would go against the grain, but I just think here it's going to be what everybody expects. New York Liberty and Las Vegas Aces, they're just so much better, head and shoulders above their competition. It would be shocking to me if you didn't see Las Vegas and New York take on each other in the finals.
Yeah, what'd you think about that money game when Liberty went into Vegas and win that game? How much will that, if these two teams meet in the finals, how much of that game will impact your handicapping?
Well, you know what? To be honest with you, I think the playoffs is a whole nother beast because you never know what kind of motivation is going into a regular season game.
That was a game. Well, that was a game that you won the Bucks, right? That was a tournament game where you played that little play-in type of tournament where they won all that money, right? I think that kind of played like a.
I guess that's true. Everybody's determined to win the money in those kind of situations, but I think the playoffs is just something totally different. You got to take a look at it game by game and how the teams performed going into that series. So we'll definitely, I'm looking forward to it. Las Vegas and New York, if they do get to meet up, should be interesting.
Yeah, that should be an interesting one. WNBA is a little bit top heavy this year. It'll be okay when we get to the finals. Some of these postseason lines have been big, but Brian can find value in some of these playoffs. He'll find it. All right, Brian, have yourself a great rest of the evening. Enjoy the doubleheader NFL, and we'll catch up with you here again on Friday. Oh, by the way, you also have a video series up here.
Yeah, make sure you tune in every day to pickdogs.com YouTube channel. Check out all the great video content. Also looking forward to being with Jay Briggs on his football show on Thursday and on the weekend show with all the guys. Definitely love hanging out with my friends on the weekends. But until then, I'll see you on Friday and do some square dancing.
That's right. Look for Brian square dancing. We'll see the Captain Obvious was not on today, so we'll see when Captain Obvious returns. All right, Brian, have a great night. Brian Bitler here on the Drive Thru. All right, let's continue on here on the show. Next up, David Racey. Catch him over at Pick Dog Stream. Hope you catch some of his videos. You can see him now in this rotation as the volume increases here on this schedule. So you're seeing David Racey now with some of the videos where we're kind of talking about it before the start of the show. So we'll bring in David right now. He's a writer over at Pick Dogs, also transitioning into video production as well. Bring him in ready to go. David, what's happening?
Tony, I'm crushed. My Lions, they couldn't get it done, and now we might not be going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's the Seattle Pete Carroll. Got to watch out. It kind of played to last year's game, right? With all the scoring, although Seattle was able to get a little bit more points on the board, but last year's game was wild. I think they torched that Seahawks defense last year.
So Seattle's beaten us 3 years in a row, and they have scored, I think, 130 points in the 3 games. So just terrible defense by Detroit, and hopefully we can bounce back this week against Atlanta.
Yeah, the favorite role wasn't too kind. Remember, the Lions were a big dog last year, so it's a little different hat now. And when people respect you, they're the favorites to win the NL, to win their division. These players know what's going on, man. They knew the Lions was going to be a tough battle. The Lions are a good team. We'll see how they roll. We like them in an underdog role. Be careful when they're favorites, but. Tonight we have one here playing out the string. Not always. There are motivations. There are contracts. There is money to be made here. Clevenger is not guaranteed a salary next year. He's on the mound here. White Sox and Nationals going ahead. White Sox minus 119. Total sits here at 9.
Yeah, this is a brutal game, really. Both teams are pretty much looking to next season. But Chicago comes into this one after losing 7 out of their last 9 games. And they actually haven't won a series in their last 11 series. They do have a couple series splits in there, but haven't won a series in their last 11 tries. They've been horrible. They've allowed 6+ runs in 5 of their last 6 games. But they are starting Mike Clevenger, who's been pretty solid for them. He's allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 5 of his last 7 starts, and he's been great in his last 3 or 4 road starts. On the other side, Washington, they've lost 5 of 6. And they haven't won a series in their last 6 tries. So like I said, these two teams looking towards next year, not a ton of motivation. The Washington offense has only scored 3 runs or fewer in 4 of their last 6 games. Nationals are going with Joan Adone, who has allowed 11 earned runs over his last 11 innings of work. But I'm going to go with the White Sox in this game. I really think both teams are equally as bad, but Clevenger has been very solid. His one real bad start came right after he was waived. He was waived. No one wanted him, so he stayed with the White Sox, and I think that messed with the focus a little bit. Clevenger's been really solid, and I'm going to take the White Sox here on the road.
All right, we got White Sox here on the road. Yeah, again, that still puzzles me why no one claimed him, because if you look at his contract, now he is playing for a contract. His contract is not guaranteed next year. Again, this is where you got to get into the intricacy here of baseball. There are some players, veteran players out there on the last year of their contract. Some of them have been waived already to make room for Paulus, but here's an interesting note with Clevenger. He's next year he's due to make $12 million, but that's not guaranteed. They can buy him out for $5 million. So this is a very important start for Clevenger, because it's basically can be the difference between the last few starts, $7 million or $8 million, right? Because you've got $5 million guaranteed, but if they accept the option next year, he'll be making $12 million.
Yeah, and it really interested me. I was surprised no one wanted him. I figured a team making a postseason push would just be like, okay, we'll take a back-end rotation guy, because he really has been solid. But you're absolutely right. Yeah, this is make or break time for him. But he has done well this season. Like I said, he had that one really bad start. I think he allowed 8 earned runs. Allowed 8 earned runs to Detroit, and that was like 2 or 3 days after he was waived. So I think that probably affected him a little bit. But hey, I am surprised no one claimed him, because especially.
Yeah, I was very shocked. Got teams like the Giants, Arizona. When you look at the back end of their rotation, my goodness, man, I still don't know how they're doing it with some of these guys in the back end of it. Fad, your Ryan Nelson, your Zach Davies. Oh my! If it's not Kelly or Gallen, man, it's like you're going to have to win in shootouts.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I'm rooting for this Diamondbacks team because I just like seeing teams that have struggled do well. But yeah, their pitching has been terrible, and they did like next to nothing to try to improve it, which is an interesting strategy.
Yep, indeed. All right, Dave here, White Sox. Well, we're going to talk about the Lions in college football. I know Michigan's going to be a big number against Rutgers. Although it's a big number, and I think it's at 24, and they don't run a lot of plays. It's a very, very slow style here for Michigan.
It's been brutal, to be honest. They've had such a slow start, and I know they're dealing with the Harbaugh thing, but they don't schedule anyone non-conference, so it's already brutal to begin with. Then they really come out, they play pretty flat, especially this weekend against Bowling Green, and then in the second half they take their starters out. So really, they're like glorified scrimmages. We'll see if that comes back to bite them. I don't think it will because they don't play really anyone until they play Penn State in November. So, I mean, we're going to have to wait a long time to see if this Michigan team is legit or not. On paper and how they were last year, you would think they would be, but the start of this season has not been encouraging. I got to tell you, that all three games, really, they've struggled in.
Yeah, it just seems there's a certain level in the Big Ten. You got teams that play like the Big Ten. You got teams that look like the Little Ten. And Rutgers is one of those teams. And sometimes Maryland can be there where they're kind of a team that seems when they ever face a physical team, they get pounded. And then non-conference, like the spot we saw here, that's kind of their season. And then they kind of wear out at the end. But I know their quarterback, too. We'll see. The quarterback, we'll see how he does here as will Maryland take that next step because I know you follow the Big Ten.
Yeah, they should win this week. They got Michigan State, who's in shambles. But real quick, going back to Michigan, that Rutgers game, Michigan has struggled with Rutgers like 3 straight seasons. I think they were losing at halftime last year, and then they almost lost the previous year. So Rutgers just for some reason has Michigan's number. I mean, they haven't beaten them, but they've kept it close. And yeah, Maryland, it's so tough for them because like you said, they play well for the most part, but then they go up against the big boys, and it usually doesn't go well for them. But I think they get by Michigan State. I think they're a 7-point favorite this week. But, we'll see. They're not going to compete with Michigan, Penn State, or Ohio State. I just don't see it.
Yeah, and of course, we know Michigan State's big weakness is pass defense, and they could have some trouble. We saw Penix do what he did to him last year, right? They did the same thing. Penix was an Indiana guy.
Yeah, no, that was brutal. That game was over before it started. And I know Michigan State's going through some stuff, but it wasn't even close. They had no heart in that game, and there was no chance from the start. I mean, it was bad. It was embarrassing.
Yeah, in this current coaching era, the pass defense has been really weak for this Michigan State team, and that's been the one thing with Tucker is it's been really, really weak. White Sox minus 121 against the Nationals. This one to have a start time here of 7 p.m. Eastern time. All right, David, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, we got baseball on the board, 1 game in the books. We got 10 on the board tonight. We also have those 2 NFL games. It's going to be a busy week. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I have 3 plays for tonight. I did have one go off this afternoon. It was the Guardians. So I was on the other side of Brian, and the Guardians blew a 4-2 lead in the 8th, so that one hurt. But I do have a 3-pack tonight that includes 1 baseball and 2 NFL. And then I also have some of those games separately. So head on over, join me for the day. But like you had already said, the better value here, especially during football season, is that 7-day pass. You can get the whole week, college, pro, all that. So head on over to Pick Dogs Premium, and let's have a good week.
That's right, guys. Get on board with David Racey over at Pick Dogs Premium. Get on board with that 7-day pass. All your picks here from David. Premium plays here for 7 days. All the football, baseball here. 2 more weeks left of the regular season. Because 2 weeks from now is Tiebreaker Monday. If there's Tiebreaker Baseball, we got it Monday, or else we get the wild card games on Tuesday. So we're getting close to the end of the regular season. Still lots of baseball left, meaningful baseball left as well. And don't forget these contract guys under contract, guys like Clevenger, who's playing for big contracts next year. We'll keep an eye on those as well. All right, David, as always, great having you show. Have a great rest of the week. We'll catch up with you next week. But you're a very busy man over at Pick Dogs. We got a lot of your written work up there, and now they're putting you on camera.
Yeah, so I'm running the writers over at Pick Dogs. So free pick articles rise. Go to the website, click the free pick tab. You can check out all the free pick articles. And then, yes, over on the YouTube channel, I'm doing some college football videos for the weekend, but I'll also be starting some baseball videos starting tomorrow. So tons of great content, tons of free picks. So head on over and check it out.
Yeah, check it out, guys. David Racey. Make sure to like, subscribe, set notifications so when David's videos drop, you'll get them. And hopefully, we won't get too many of the Chicago KC games. They're probably going to hope you're the new guy. So, yeah, let's give them these games right here with KC, Washington, and, so we'll see how that rolls. So, button up on some of those bottom teams.
Yeah, exactly. But like you said,
new guy treatment.
You can always find an angle. So even if you have a
That's
bad
right.
game, you can
well, see, that's what I'm saying. That's the thing about baseball in September. There are some ways, there are some angles you can find. I was talking about Colorado as a home dog. I've been preaching that. Look what they did over the weekend, what they've done, And again, as I said before, not all contenders are the same. Baseball's changed. You have your division winners, and then you have your teams vying for the wild card. So those two subsets, those teams vying for division titles, those are good teams, close to elite teams. They're going to win 90-plus games. These wild card teams are in the 80s. They're just average teams, and they're being priced like they're going for division titles.
Exactly. Yeah, no, you're exactly right, and you just got to find the right spots.
That's right, and Dave will find them for you, so check them out. All right, Dave, have a great week. We'll catch up with you next week.
All right, thank you, Tony. Have a good one.
You as well. David Racey here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue on here on the show. Up next, we got some player prop here from Brad Francis. You'll catch him over at Pick Dog Stream. We'll bring Brad in right now. Ready to roll here. Doubleheader from Monday Night Football, so it should be an entertaining night of football today. I always like these doubleheaders. We'll bring him in right now. Ready to roll. Dave, Brad, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, Tony? How are we doing today?
Doing great. All right, here we go tonight. We know the Saints and Panthers are going head-to-head in Monday Night Football. This will be the first game at 7:15 Eastern Time on ESPN. We see the Saints favorite, but you've been looking at player prop tonight.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and I love this player prop a lot. I'm looking at Jamal Williams over 57.5 rushing yards. I think this is a great spot for Jamal. With Alvin Kamara still not in the lineup, he's going to get almost all the touches tonight. Last week, he had 18 of the 19 carries the Saints gave out. He didn't have the best performance, don't get me wrong, but the Titans' run defense is very good. On the other hand, we have Carolina's run defense, who just isn't that great. The Panthers gave up 130 rushing yards last week. They averaged, they gave up 2 rushing touchdowns as well against the Falcons, and they averaged 5 yards per carry. The Falcons did in that game. So the Panthers' run defense did not look great. And I do expect the Saints to win this game. I think they will be leading most of this game. So I could see the game script being, give the ball to Jamal, try to run out some clock at the end of the game. And 57.5 just seems a little too low for a guy who's gonna get all the touches tonight. So loving the over for Jamal Williams tonight.
All right, we got Brad here. Jamal Williams over 57.5 rushing yards. Yeah, I mean, the thing is when you got Derek Carr under center on the road, be careful. He's not been a very good situational player in road favorites. He's prone to making mistakes. So again, just make it easy for him. Run the football. You're facing a team that was, got the first round pick last year, right? That this is a bad team. They got a rookie quarterback. I expect a lot of short drives here from the Panthers and a lot of touches here for the Saints. Again, the Saints with ball control could wear out this Panthers team in the second half.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, if I'm the Saints, I'm going to have a run-heavy mindset in this one personally, just because everything you just said. So, should be a good night for Jamal. Did you like to bet player props, Tony?
Not too much. I'm starting to. I was in the Super Bowl. I did great in the Super Bowl because you have that. It's not as busy. For me, I like baseball, so September baseball keeps me busy. Like I was talking with David about, because I kind of look at. I've got 5 months of data now, 5.5 months of data from baseball. I want to put that data to work. Football, I got 1 week, 2 weeks now of data. I'm basically really pounding the baseball right now because I'm looking for those opportunities like we talked about. Colorado's a home dog, separating division contenders from wild card contenders who really are just average teams. Getting priced like division, like they're fighting for a division title. So there are certain things I'm looking at in baseball right now, and then of course there's college football on the board as well. So you kind of got to pick your spots.
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, after seeing what happened in that Rams-Niners game, with them covering the spread like that. I'm kind of scared of bet spreads these days, like the player props is a little more safe, I feel like, these days.
Well, it's funny because a long time ago, I don't know if Don Shula would be before your time. Someone asked Don Shula, this was back in the early 70s. I mean, I read something about it early 70s. Somebody asked him a question, about the point spread. He goes, if I was a bettor, I would always bet on the underdog because as a coach, all we want to do is win the game. So that's what he said. And of course, the Rams come as an underdog, and the funny thing there is the fact that he knew what he was doing. He knew. Yeah, and now you got to keep that in your mind. Hey, we see it in college and we joke about it. We see that a lot in college, but you know what? There are pressure on these guys to cover spreads. That keeps sometimes. A coach back in the day that was known for this was Steve Spurrier. Back in his college days, he would make sure that spread was covered. he would not take the foot off the gas. He would make sure that spread was covered and covered comfortably before he went to the bench. So that was now you know about him out in your area.
Yeah. I'm not a huge Steve Spurrier fan, but I do like coaches who care about the spread.
Yeah, that was one of them out in your way. So there are guys out there that know it. UNLV. That there's a lot in Nevada. Wolfpack back in the day. They've been known to be covered. They'll cover spreads at home. You just pick it up, right? They know already. Look, if we lose, at least cover the spread. Our boosters will be happy, and of course, the boosters are the ones that keep you employed nowadays in college football. All right, we've got Brad here on Jamal Williams over 57.5 rushing yards. This one to have a start time here tonight. Game number 1 of the doubleheader, 7:15 Eastern time. This one on ESPN. The Browns game is on ABC. All right, Brad, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Of course, we do have a football, NFL, and baseball in action. Good results here in college football. What do you have going on over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Yes, sir. I just got one play up there tonight, actually. I had a baseball play earlier in their day, but right now I just got my best pick for tonight's NFL game. So go on the website. It's only $15, so I personally think that's great value. But like everyone else says, man, long-term stuff is the way to go.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with Brad Francis over at Pick Dodge. Great results to see in college football, so get on board with him right now. And the long-term passes will serve you well. Remember, the promo code PICK at checkout will save you that 15% off, $15 play up there right now from NFL football. All right, Brad, as always, great having your show. See you that success. We'll catch up with you again on Friday, but you got a lot going on over at Pick Dodge. We can catch your video series up here as well.
Yes, sir. Doing the parlay videos every single day, so go check that out. We actually hit on our parlay on Saturday. We hit on our parlay on Sunday, and we're going for 3 in a row tonight. So I'm getting a little hot with the parlays now that we got some different sports coming in, so be sure to check that out. That's
right, guys. So get on board here with Brad Francis and use that promo code. All right, Brad, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week, end of the week.
All right, appreciate it, my man. Have a good one.
You got it. Brad Francis here on the Drive-Thru. Reminder, guys, if you miss any picks, we'll always recap at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. All right, let's continue on here on the Drive-Thru. We got him signed in, ready to roll here, and that is our man James Clark. Catch him over at Pick Dog Screen. We'll bring in James right now. Put up great results in Major League Baseball this year. Has been on fire. We got a baseball pick from him right now. Let's get to his screen here, and we'll get him ready to roll here in just a second. James, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. All right, here we go tonight. Mariners here on the road to face the Athletics. There, we see the Mariners big favorites of -169, total 7.5.
Guys, I've rode the Mariners a lot this year, and for good reasons. They've piled up a lot of wins, and a lot of times they was underdogs to start the season. And then, the odds makers find out, hey, this Mariners team's pretty good. And they've changed it around. Well, here lately at the end of the season, you got the A's has turned it around here with their young play. They had Sears on the mound. His last 3 starts, man, he's been phenomenal. Allowing 5 hits in his last 4 starts and 12 strikeouts. And I really like the A's tonight on the money line. I know they've had an awful season, but here lately they've turned it around, and they ain't really going up against a really great pitcher in Boo Wheatley. He's not really a good pitcher. He's allowed a lot of hits, and I really like the A's today on those money line dogs that I think is definitely barking, and I just think they come out on top over the Mariners tonight.
All right, there we go with James here with Athletics plus 153 against the Mariners. Yeah, I mean, How can you argue that? We talked about this last week. We know with Sears and Blackburn and Medina at home, we're starting to see some improvement here for some of these young pitchers. Remember, Sears is a Yankees product coming in. Of course, Blackburn has been bouncing around. I think it was with the Twins, had a pretty good season last year. So these are not Oakland home-based players. That'd be a good thing because maybe their minor league system hasn't been the greatest. So Sears is a former Yankee, Blackburn a former Twin. We're seeing some goodness out of Medina at times at home. So we're starting to see. Oh, I'm sorry. Also, who's showing some improvement? Forget Medina, Waldachuk. So those three guys, Waldachuk, Sears, and Blackburn are the three Oakland Athletics pitchers who have really turned their form around this month.
Yes, they have, and also the bats are turning around for Oakland too. Oakland have been hitting the ball really well, against good pitchers, and they ain't facing a really good pitcher tonight. And I really like the A's tonight. I think they come out on top. I think they get the lead early, and I think they keep it. And the Mariners try to fight back, but they ain't got enough to fight back. I really like the A's tonight.
All right, James here on Athletics, plus 153 here against the Mariners. And this one will start here tonight at 9:40 Eastern Time. All right, we got to give James a little victory roll here. A good pick on the Maryland, of course. West Virginia came through, even with the line move. They got it done.
Yes, they did. And if you got the prop for the C.J. Anderson touchdown, C.J. Donaldson touchdown, if you got it early, you got it plus 230. If you got it late, you got it minus 115. But either way you got it, it cashed. We looked pretty good. We looked pretty good that night. I know we had Green to go down. I think he broke his ankle. We've got a redshirt freshman that started that, it seemed like, just sticking him out there in the game. He, the game looked too big for him, but, he settled down and kept handing the ball off, and, Donaldson took us to the house. Big win for West Virginia. We don't like Pitt, so if we beat Pitt every year, we're happy. So let's build on from this win and see what else we can do in the conference.
Yeah, that's right. So that was the big one they got. So you guys take mental notes because they haven't played for a while. It's a big deal in West Virginia. I don't know if it's much of a big deal for Pittsburgh, but it's a big deal there. And of course, the networks knew because they got a nice little primetime network viewing there.
Yeah, I think if it wasn't for Colorado and Deion Sanders, the way Colorado's been playing, I think ESPN would probably be in. Game day would probably be in Morgantown that day. But you had Colorado versus Colorado State, Deion doing his thing. So, they chose there because that's the two biggest games, I think, as far as rivalry Saturday, that really meant anything. So we had some good exposure. You seen what we could do. Our defense, man, very impressed with their defense. They stepped up really big, held Pitt down. I only think Pitt scored a touchdown. I think it was all field goals, and I really was impressed with their defense. And Donaldson, awesome running back. Every chance you get to bet him to score a touchdown, we get close to the goal line until we're handing it to. So he's definitely going to score. There
you go. And of course, the Big 12. There's so many new teams in here, right? Cincinnati, BYU. We're seeing. So how do you see the West Virginia moving forward in the conference?
I think we're about mid-pack, to be honest. I think we're about midways. I know Oklahoma's leaving, but, they're still in it this year. Man, they look tough. This weekend, last weekend, I think they're the team that's going to be. If you look at Oklahoma State, I think they've slid back from what they was last year. Yeah, they're not as good a team as they have been. And I think we ranked right up there. I know Colorado, they ain't there yet, but they're going to be. Deion's got them 3-0, 2-0. They're looking good. So I think we're mid-pack, about 4th or 5th. I think is what we're finished. And I'd say Oklahoma will probably win it all. I'd say.
Yeah, Oklahoma. Yeah, Venables is getting to play defense. Right before, Oklahoma was just outscoring teams, the defensive numbers. You kind of look the other way because they're beating teams by 21, even though they're giving up, close to over 300 yards. But now they're defending better. But it'll be interesting here next year in the Big 12. You're gonna have some long trips here because West Virginia. You could be going out to the Arizona schools. You could be going out to over to Utah as well.
Yeah, we got a long travel, but we've been traveling along, Tony. Yeah. We've been traveling to Texas. From West Virginia to Texas is a long travel. So, just shoot us over on the other side of of the country there over the Arizona, Utah. That's what we've been doing anyways. West Virginia had a chance one time, I think about 7 or 8 years ago, to get in the SEC or ACC closer teams. That they could have been right around them, which they should have got. But we just went to the Big 12. But we don't mind the travel. We like going to Texas, playing against the Longhorns. We're going to like to go against Utah and Arizona. Any place you pit us, we'll be there. But they hate coming to Morgantown.
That's the thing.
You can ask them. They hate coming to Morgantown.
Oh my God! Yeah, could you imagine if they scheduled Colorado at Morgantown next year in the Big 12? Oh my God, that would be. I'm going to predict it right now, James. I'm going to predict it right now. When ABC plays at the primetime games during Labor Day weekend, Colorado at Morgantown. I'm going to tell you right now. I've already got the game already for next year. The Kickoff Classic, I think they call that. I don't know what it's like. That's going to be the game.
That'll be awesome. I know. I heard Colorado's student body or council. One of them said if they was coming to Morgantown, he definitely wasn't traveling. So
yeah. So that's.
But that'll be an awesome game. We like to see Deion Sanders. See, nobody really knows this. If we had a chance to get Deion, at one time because Noel Devine is his godson. And Noel Devine, was a big playmaker for us.
Yep.
There when we was shopping coaches, but we missed out on an opportunity, and I think that's what we need. I think we need another coach. Myself, I just don't like the way he does things, the way he runs the offense. And I ain't the only one. It's a lot of us. But.
Yeah, you got to tackle a little better on the road. I mean, on the road, we got to see some tackling. I know we got to see it. All right, we got the game here from James here. The Big Dog Athletics plus 153 against the Mariners. All right, James, let's go over at pick.com for tonight's action. Of course, James, I've been on fire in baseball this year. He's been firing big. We don't stop in September, man. We got 5.5 months of data in baseball. We're putting it to use here. Baseball on the board tonight, 2 from NFL. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
I got a 3-pack going on, guys. I got 2 NFL games and my best play in MLB. 3 games that I really love. Coming off of a 3-3 day yesterday. Could have been a monster day yesterday, but you know how football goes. Green Bay killed us, and so did the Cardinals. I had the Cardinals on the money line. Thought they'd get the Giants, and they let them come back. But, that's football. That's how it bounces, guys. But we'll get them again this weekend. But I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get them tonight with 2-0 in the NFL, and then go 1-0 with the MLB, which will be 3-0, guys. So after we go 3-0, upgrade to 3-7 or 30 days, or like I say every time I'm on the show, guys, we got the best cappers in the world, and we do by far. So team me up with any cappers that's on the show or it's that's on the site. We'll put some money in your pockets.
That's right, guys. Got a board here with James Clark over at Pick Dog Trim. Good results in Major League Baseball. You see the great results he's put together. 3-pack on the board right now, mixing football and NFL. But again, the long-term pass is the way to go. Try them out for 7 days. Pick is a promo code to save that 15% off. Even greater value there when you add the multi-capper promotion. You can add more than one capper now on the 2-for-1 capper promotion. It used to be 2-for-1, but it's more than 2-for-1. You can go multi-capper. Even greater value there when you go ahead and get signed up. Just click that promo code pick at checkout, and you'll save that 15% off. All right, James, as always, great having your show. We'll bring James here again. James, continue that success. We're going to catch up with you again later in the week, and we'll have a great rest of the week.
All right, Tony. I appreciate you, buddy. Probably see you one day in the fill-ins, and then I'll definitely see you Friday, buddy.
That's right. We'll catch up in the fill-ins. We have James Clark here on the drive-thru. All right, guys, if you ever miss a pick, we always recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. We're going to bring in Rod Zawacky here in a second. I just want to make sure I've got this data, my board here. I'm going to have to manually select the net game. I don't know, my little keyboard here is preventing me from advancing the game logs here. So let me see. We got Rod here on the Orioles Astros coming up. So let me just go ahead and find that game, and we'll get Rod here in just a second. Here we go. Orioles. That's the next one up here. So hit the play. So we got the play going here. So we continue with the live odds. So we're ready to set. I got it set up. So let's go ahead and bring him in right now. Rod Zawacky, catch him over at Pick Dog Stream. They're very good to us. We'll look at some of the peripheral action as well. He gives us CFL. WNBA resumes tomorrow. We'll talk WNBA tomorrow as we just had the lines released for CFL. So they always time it perfectly, these CFL lines, because just in time for Rod's segment. Rod, what's happening?
Not too much. Definitely enjoying a nice weekend. Looking to continue this week hot and get some more people some nice winners. Say, speaking of WNBA, we'll cover that tomorrow. As you said, we're off to a nice 9-0 start in the playoffs. We nailed every play that I've given you here on the drive-through, plus the ones I've given you on Sunday on the morning show.
I mean, look,
9-0 start WNBA.
We've been starting, Rod's been handicapping WN since season 1. You have all this data. You never stop. You never stop. Football's starting. You never stop, right? Because you got all the data. You know the teams. Well, I mean, you put all that work into it. You got to continue with it.
Yep, exactly, right? And it's been paying off. The playoffs have been paying off. We hit 9 straight, so I'm excited for that.
9 straight winners here from Rod on the WNBA. We'll have the WNBA coverage tomorrow as the playoffs resume, but we got the Orioles and Astros tonight. Meaningful baseball. This is the series to keep an eye on here. Astros favored big here, $1.86, total of 9.
Yeah, and look, when I put this in, this total was at 8.5. It's now up to 9. So they definitely in our right direction. People thinking we're going to get some runs. John Means getting his second start back from the Tommy John surgery, and in his first start, it didn't look too bad. He went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits. Gave up 3 runs. He's lucky it was only 3 runs. He didn't walk a couple guys and get some more because he gave up a couple home runs as well. So do I think he gives up a couple more runs here in this one? Sure, I think he could give up a couple in this one. On the other side, you got Justin Verlander getting the start for the Astros, and you know what? He's been on. He was on a nice little win streak going there, and then now he's on a win 1, lose 1 streak where he win 1, lose 1, win 1. Lost last time out. So he's due to win 1 if he continues that pattern, but he's definitely been giving up some runs as well. He's got 12 runs over his last 3 starts, over 20 innings of work, and I think he gives up some here. Both these offenses hitting over 250 and equate to over getting at least 5 runs a game. And when you throw it to the bullpens, these bullpens have been shaky at times. And you look over the last 10, Baltimore's bullpen 3.38 earned runs. Well, the Astros are 4.31 earned runs over the last 10 games there. And both of these teams head to the over. If you look at Baltimore this season, 79-62 to that over. The Astros 79-68 to the over this season. And as Tony said, we put it in at 8.5. This book's got it up at 9. I think we hit 10, 11 runs in this one. Take the over.
All right, sharpest book in the world has it here at 9 right now, and I am seeing. Let's see here. I am seeing a lot of 8.5. The only book. There's a couple of books that have it at 9, but you'll be able to find 8.5 at the rest of the books right now.
8.5. Yeah.
The sharp money right now. This is the sharp. I post the sharpest book in the world for you guys. You can see the big under juice there in this one. So do your line shopping, get the best numbers, have more than one account up there. That's the way you have. You can win in these games is get the best numbers. Big difference there. Yeah. The Astros and Orioles. We've seen the Astros really. Boy, you scratch your head. You say, what's going on with this team? How do you lose 2 of 3 to the Astros and then to the Athletics?
Right. And this I don't know. The Astros look good, and then all of a sudden they look awful. And then at home, they've played very well on the road. Have these Astros at home? It just seems like home has definitely not been good home cooking for these Astros at home. Especially as a side, you're going to give me that kind of price. I would lean to the Orioles. The Orioles 8-0 over their last 8 versus the American League West. So nice winning streak for the Orioles on that one. So I would lean to the Orioles. I like the over as the better play. I think we see some runs in this.
Yeah, runs. Me and Verlander again is. I don't know if it's wearing out a little bit. He's had some rough outings.
Oh, he's definitely had some runs. Give up 6 runs. He, like I said, he's been like win 1, lose 1. Win 1, he looks good. Lose 1, give up 6 runs. Win 1, give up 1 run. Lose 1, give up 5 runs. It's what are we going to get from him? It's I don't know. He's been like this the last few games, so I'm expecting he gives up some runs here. Both pitchers don't equate to he gets the win in this one.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about this Orioles pitching bullpen because their stars are not going deep into games.
No, and as he means went 5 innings last time, he's probably on a pitch count again, and we're lucky if he goes 5, 6 innings. 6 is the best if he has a great starting. So because you don't want to work him too hard heading in. He just wants to be around for the postseason and hopefully get some work in. Maybe it's a reliever role, he said, throughout these playoffs. Maybe he can come in as a reliever in some certain spots because they got a pretty good starting rotation, these Orioles, without him. But if they got him in here earlier before the playoffs just so they can try to get him some work and see how he does. And nothing wrong with an extra arm in the playoffs that you can throw in at certain times. Because we've seen means if he can get things right back to where he was. Like I said, that first start, he didn't look too bad. So get him to work before the playoffs is what the Orioles are looking at.
Yep, no doubt about that. All right, Rod, peripherals, as I said, just as we started the segment, they got the CFL up for you just in time. All right, 22nd, we got a doubleheader, Saskatchewan, Ottawa. Looks like the Rough Riders 2.5 on the road, 44.5. BC at Edmonton. Again, BC big favorites, 8.5, total 50.5.
Yeah, and you look at this one here in this. I would lead Saskatchewan. You know what? But this week in the CFL, we went 2-2. All dogs came in. All the underdogs hit in this week in the CFL. Ottawa looked pretty good going to BC and getting the win in that one. But in this one, I'm going to go with the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, who have these teams are pretty much eerily similar, but Saskatchewan is the better team. So I would take Saskatchewan in that one. And we know what the Elks have done. The Elks have won 2 straight at home, and that offense is continuing to roll, and they're skyrocketing up the CFL power rankings as well. Just playing better football than what we've seen at the start of the season. That's just disrespecting the Elks. Take the Elks and the points in this one. I might even sprinkle a little on the money line on that one on Friday night.
All right, Rod. Also, we go here Saturday, doubleheader action here. Montreal, Alouettes, Calgary. Montreal going to be laying 2.5 on the road, total 46.5. And then Hamilton and Toronto. Toronto big favorites, 9.5 at the open, total 48.5.
Yeah, and you look at that Hamilton to Toronto game. Hamilton got the win last week, and that definitely surprised me in that one. But they played their best here on the road, 4-2 this season on the road, 4-2 against the number. I would go with Hamilton plus the points in that one. And you know what? This Montreal team was 6-3 at one point to start the at one point this year, but last month definitely was not good to Montreal, as they're losers of 4 straight and going the wrong way. They went from 6-3, they're now 6-7, and Calgary at home. I would go with the Stampeders in that one at home. Toughest place for Montreal to come, as they're going the wrong way.
All right, there you go. From Rod's rocking with his peripherals here, CFL. Remember, we'll cover WNBA tomorrow. Rod 9-0 with his WNBA. He's been on absolute fire here. We'll get the WNBA playoffs. We'll begin again. We'll resume tomorrow. Rod here, Orioles, Astros over 8.5 runs here tonight at 8 Eastern time. All right, Rod, let's take a look over at pick.com for tonight's action. Of course, tonight on the board, we got baseball. We got the doubleheader here from Monday Night Football. Great results here. It's been a really good weekend for Rod. He's been on absolute fire. What do you have going over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Yeah, been a great weekend. 13-5-1 with the football. And I got 2 plays in tonight's NFL action. I got my Monday Night Football executive info play, or I've got my 10-star play of the day. Both of those are in football. We pushed with the play of the day yesterday with the 49ers on -7 with that debacle of the field goal late. It's just, anyways, that's a whole different story, and don't get me started on that. You know what? So 4-0-1 on the 10-star play of the day. We got the push with that one. We'll take the push and move on from that one. You can scoop it up singly, or you can grab my Monday Night Football 2+1, where you get both of my NFL plays plus one play in tonight's Major League Baseball. You can scoop those up together. As I said, we've been rolling right along. We're up on the week, up on the month. Jump aboard. Now's the time. Well, I'm a hot. Grab that week pass. Join me for the week. Use that promo code PICK at checkout, or take advantage of that 2-for-1 capper deal. Hey, pair me up with Tony. If you see in college football, Tony's the leader over there, 14-4. So Tony's been ripping it up in college football. Pair us up. We've both been ripping it up in college football, making some money this week.
So the guys that get on board here with Zawacky over at Pick.com. Great results here in college football. Multi-capper promotion. Get on board with it right now. Pick is a promo code. Save that 15% off. Go long-term for your best value on the side. All right, Rod, as always, great having you show. Continue that great success here, and we'll catch up with you here on the show tomorrow.
Yeah, you as well, Tony. Good luck with your bets tonight, and we'll catch you on the flip side tomorrow. with some WNBA as well.
WNBA, Rod's come back 9-0, been on fire here with WNBA, and he's getting ready to roll some more. Of course, keep an eye also getting ready for the NHL preseason hockey, because we're going to need it, because in a couple of weeks we're going to have our baseball coverage, our baseball schedule will be greatly trimmed during the postseason. All right, Rod.
And I've been locked and loaded watching the rookie games go on, and I even had somebody from Colorado send me a little link to watch some of the Colorado action that they've had going in Vegas. There were some games going on, a bunch of rookie games in Vegas. Somebody sent me a link to watch some of that, so I was tuning into some of that on the weekend, watching some juniors, some of the rookies and some other teams go at it. They had a big tournament. I didn't know they did that. Kind of cool in Vegas. Nice little rookie tournament going on there. Definitely tune in, check it out. I'm always tuning in. Got to stay on top of all this sports action.
Stay on top of sports action. Rod likes the hockey. You can see the Oilers captain. I'm sure he's got some tickets ready for the season. We'll get some of those pictures again from Rod on his way to the game. Looking forward to that. All right, Rod, enjoy the night. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Definitely. Have yourself a good one, Tony. Good luck with your rest tonight, everybody.
You as well. Rod Zawacky here on the Drive Thru. Remember, you want to tune in tomorrow. Rod Zawacky with his WNBA picks 9-0. He's been on fire, and he's been covering WNBA since the start of the season during the summer with Rod's peripherals. We don't stop. We don't stop. We don't. Oh, it's football season. Nope, we don't do that, guys. We don't do that here. We respect the time of the cappers. You put that work in August, September, July, and whatnot. You're not going to put it to waste. You're going to continue to bet it. So we're going to give you the picks, and they're going to win. You guys. Listen, the audience knows that, right? You guys know already. You're looking for winners. And let's continue on here on the Drive Thru. Let's get to my pick, and then we'll get to the recap here. Yeah, so actually, we're getting to the top of the hour. Let's just get the recap, and then we'll get to my pick. Brian got us with the Phillies here, -105 against the Braves. David with the White Sox, -121 against the Nationals. We had Brad here with Jamal Williams, over 57.5 rushing yards. We had James with Athletics here, +153 here against the Mariners. In a spot he's looking as a big dog here with this Oakland team. We've got Rod here, Orioles, Astros, over 8.5. And of course, we got. I'll be on the Rockies again. I know they're not at home, but I told you guys the Rockies as a home dog has been money, but they're not home here. But I'll tell you why I like them in a second here. A lot of Soto and all them getting a lot of screen time right now. Maybe a little too late. We joked about this. Who did I joke this? I joked about this with somebody that the Padres had a chance of winning 16 of their next 18 games, and sure enough, people are talking about their schedule. Yeah, they figured it out that they have a shot if they run out. Because these they're wild card contenders. They're not great teams, so they're going to go. Some of them will go backwards, and we'll see if the Padres can catch fire. But tonight's game could be the dagger. It could be the dagger tonight here, because let's get to the game. Why not? Right? Let's just get to it. Why do I like this one? The one I like the most here. I got to go with that Athletics pick. I like that one. I mean, there's 3 pitchers I keep an eye on: Waldichuk, Sears. Sears is a Yankee product. And, of course, Blackburn. Those are the 3 pitchers you keep an eye on with Oakland right now. They've had a pretty good September. So we'll go with that with James. All right, let's get to my game here. We're looking at Rockies and Padres in this one tonight. And in case I said I do like the Rockies here at that big plus price. Rockies are not at home. They're not home dogs. We saw them sweep that doubleheader against the Giants on Saturday, right? That was money. They after they lost the first game of the homestand, they came back and won the rest of them, except the one yesterday. But, man, they went down fighting, losing 11-10 against the Giants. But, man, they scooped a lot of money with that angle with the Rockies as a home dog. But I'm going to tell you here with this one here, Rockies and Padres tonight. We've got Block on the mound. I know it's a little crooked here, 4.64, whip of 1.55. Walker's on the mound, but let's just get to the recent form here. We look at the Rockies here. Let's look at Walker, right? Walker's past 4 starts, he's allowed 16 earned runs in 19 and a third innings. That's brutal there, right? And Block not too much better, right? 12 earned runs in 16 innings. So both pitchers struggles, right? But take a look at this. This really got my attention here. In San Diego, the past 48 games in San Diego, the Rockies, 25-23 straight up. 25-23 straight up at Petco. The past 48. It's not in Colorado. This is in San Diego. The Rockies have won 25 of the 28, a winning record with a plus 17 unit return. The Padres this year at home, the Padres, a minus 16 unit loss. And all the cameras, you're seeing the Padres now, Soto on camera. Oh, they're feeling like superstars. This is when the regression happens, when the cameras flash on them, right? That's the type of team we've seen. That's what we've seen here from this Rockies team. But again, we're going to continue here with this rock stuff, and we're going to take the Rockies here at the big plus price, because people are saying the Padres have a shot. When they say they have a shot, that's when they go the other way, because that's just that's who they are. I've been, and you guys see the LA behind me. I do that because as a child, I love the Dodgers, right? You grew up in LA, you're going to grow up with your home team. But I've just seen the Padres just, fizzle. And the Rockies, again, on the road. Hope you guys scoop that doubleheader win. Again, as I said, contenders, their price. Again, here's a situation where the price of a contender, this is not a division title team. This is a team with horrible negative unit results at home, and you're pricing them at $255. Again, this is what I'm talking about, where you can find value in September, because, they're a contender. Not all contenders are the same. You got your division title contenders, and you got your wild card. The wild card contenders are not good teams. They're just average teams at best sometimes, okay? So you got to really separate that. Take that knowledge into next year. Separate when they talk pennant contenders are teams that win divisions, titles, 90-win teams and above. Wild card teams are hovering around 500. Average, sometimes even below average when the season's over. So just remember that. And guys, keep an eye on that as well. And that's the way to roll on the rocks tonight here. And this one to have a start time here of 9:40 Eastern time. All right, guys, over at Pick We've got a couple of premium plays up there. Best bet from football, as well as a single for Major League Baseball. Of course, I also have my long-term pass, my 3, 7, or 30 sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period. Just like when you go to my handicapper page and make that purchase, remember the promo code Pick It Checkout. You'll save that 15% off. You can also add a second capper, multi-cappers with multi-capper discounts, even greater value there. All right, you got the recap, guys. You know what everyone's on for tonight. We got you set to roll. Enjoy the football tonight. Reminder that it'll do for this edition of the Drive-Thru. Make sure you guys tune in to get them all live here at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring our cappers from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Plays. They'll get out their plays for you in the primetime hour tomorrow for all the big games. We got a big card of baseball tomorrow. Looks like all 15 games are in the primetime hour. As we move into Thursday football, we have WNBA tomorrow with Rod. Remember Rod on that 9-0 run here with those WNBA picks. So make sure you tune in tomorrow as the WNBA returns to the playoffs. And of course, it always gets started with that morning show, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. You got Mitch, you got Chris, and you've got Jay with the morning show. Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. Betting Tools show. Also, you've got the Jay's rundown from the NFL show up here live. Chris's home run prop video. We also have plays here from Brad Francis with his parlay video of the day. Mills with his prop video of the day. Mike Davis Monday, Wednesday, Fridays with his live show. Also, first 5 as well from you guys from Mike. Also, Wayne working on his boxing series as well. And lots of content here on the channel, guys. Don't forget Ron Romanelli, Major League Baseball rundown, as well as college football rundown. So lots of content. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications so when these videos drop, you get them in real time. All right, that'll do it here for the show. Let's go ahead and bring in our cappers from tonight.